I poisoned my husband's coffee that morning, not with arsenic, but with the bitter truth of our marriage, served black and scalding. He choked it down anyway, sputtering excuses about why I couldn't join him at the gala, his eyes darting like a cornered rat in our Upper East Side brownstone. "You're too ugly to come," he said, the words landing like a slap from a stranger. But it was Jack, my Jack. The man who'd vowed forever under Central Park's skeletal oaks 15 years ago, who spat them out. I stared at him across the breakfast nook, the steam from his mug curling like smoke signals from a dying fire.
Ugly.
The word hung there, heavier than the diamond on my finger that no longer fit right. I'd gained weight after the miscarriage last year. Sure, the one he blamed on my stress eating during his endless board meetings. My hair, once a cascade of chestnut waves, now frizzed in the humid July air, and the fine lines around my eyes mapped every lie he'd told since law school. But ugly? That was new. Calculated. A blade sharpened just for me. "You mean it?" I asked, voice steady as the Hudson on a windless day, though inside, something cracked like ice under boot heels. Jack adjusted his cufflinks, gold, engraved with our initials, a wedding gift from his daddy's firm, and didn't meet my gaze. "Alina."
Come on.
"It's the Harrington Gala. Partners only."
And.
"Look, it'll just be awkward. You hate those things anyway. Stay home. Binge your Netflix. I'll bring you something shiny from the auction." Shiny. Like the pearl necklace he'd forgotten to pick up last Christmas. Or the sapphire earrings that turned out to be cubic zirconia from a Canal Street knockoff. I laughed, a sharp bark that echoed off the exposed brick walls we'd paid a fortune to rusticize. Awkward for who? Jack?
Me.
Or the redhead you've been texting under the table at Ruth's Chris? His fork clattered against the porcelain. Bingo. But he recovered fast, that lawyer's poker face sliding into place like a well-oiled lock. "Jealousy's not pretty either."
Babe.
"I've got a deposition in an hour. We'll talk tonight." He left in a swirl of Tom Ford cologne and deceit, the door clicking shut like a guillotine. I sat there until the coffee went cold, replaying the ugliness in my head. We'd met at Columbia, me, the wide-eyed poli-sci major from a Rust Belt town in Ohio. Him, the trust fund shark with a smile that could charm a jury blind. He swept me into his world of lofts and luncheons, made me believe I belonged. But somewhere between the Hampton summers and the Wall Street crashes, I became the prop, the dutiful wife who hosted brunches while he climbed. The miscarriage had been the fracture point. 8 months along. Our daughter, we'd named her Lillian Whispers, gone in a flood of blood and grief at Mount Sinai. Jack was in D.C., closing a deal. I woke alone in the sterile room, the monitors beeping like accusations. When he finally showed, it was with flowers and a promotion announcement. "Chin up, Alina. We've got time for more."
Time.
As if babies were billable hours. But ugly? That was the hook yanking me under. I poured myself a scotch, neat, like my Midwestern grandma warned against, and scrolled through his phone while he was gone. Not the first time, but the deepest dive. Text 2 read, real name, Vanessa, per LinkedIn, a junior associate with legs for days, and a daddy who owned half of Westchester. Late nights. Hotel receipts from the plaza. And then, buried in a deleted folder, an email chain from 5 years back. "Take the hit for me,
Babe.
It's just tax evasion, small potatoes. I'll make it worth your while." I'd forged the signatures, buried the paperwork in our joint returns. a felony rap that could have sunk him. But I covered it to protect his golden boy status at the firm. My hands shook as I forwarded it all to my personal Gmail. Betrayal isn't a single stab, it's a slow bleed. By noon, I'd called my old college roommate, Tessa, now a stylist in Soho with a Rolodex of black tie miracles. Make me unforgettable, I told her. The kind that haunts. She arrived at 3, arms laden with garment bags and attitude. Jack's a prick. Lena. Always was. Remember sophomore year? He ghosted you for that sorority girl after homecoming. We laughed over Chardonnay, but it tasted like vinegar. Tessa zipped me into a gown, emerald silk that hugged my curves like a dare. Not an apology. Low cut, but elegant, thigh-high slit for the walk of reckoning. She piled my hair into a chignon that screamed old money, dusted my cheeks with bronzer that evened the score. You look like you could bankrupt a man with a glance, she said, stepping back. I met my reflection, not ugly. Feral. Alive. The invitation was on the mantel, gold embossed, addressed to Mr. and Mrs. Jack Harlan. Forged his RSVP, with a +1 me. Screw the partner's only lie. I was going. The cab ride to the plaza was a blur of Manhattan's evening pulse, horns blaring like war cries. Pedestrians hustling under sodium lamps. My heart hammered in rhythm with the rain starting to patter on the roof. What truth did he fear? Not the affair. That was Tuesday's trash. It was deeper. A grave we'd both dug. I stepped out into the drizzle, flashbulbs popping from the red carpet press like distant gunfire. Heads turned, not all pity, some envy. Who's the mystery in green? I heard a society blogger murmur into her recorder. Inside, chandeliers dripped light like honeyed venom, the air thick with Chanel No. 5 and whispered deals. I scanned the crowd, hedge fund vultures in tuxes, socialites with Botox smiles, Jack holding court by the bar with Vanessa draped on his arm like a Hermes scarf. Our eyes locked. His face drained of color. Champagne flute frozen mid-sip. Alina? What the? Surprise. Darling. I purred, accepting a flute from a passing waiter. The bubbles tickled like lies. Vanessa's gaze raked me, dismissive, then wary. She was younger, sharper, but I had history. And history bites back. He pulled me aside into an alcove of velvet drapes, his breath hot with panic. You weren't supposed to. How did you even get in? Faked it. Like you taught me. I clinked my glass to his. To truths uncovered. Before he could retort, a shadow loomed. Elias Harrington, the firm's silver-haired patriarch, clapping Jack on the back. Harlan, glad you could make it. And who's this vision? Your better half, Jack stammered. But I extended my hand, cool as a deposition. Alina Harlan. Pleasure, Mr. Harrington. Jack's told me so much about the man who built empires on sand. Elias chuckled, oblivious. Feisty. I like her. Stick around for the toast, big announcement tonight. He winked and vanished into the throng. Jack's grip on my arm tightened, nails digging like accusations. What are you playing at? Lena, go home.
Now.
Home. I wrenched free. Voice low thunder. To the house you bought with my silence? The one where I buried our daughter's ashes in the garden because you couldn't be bothered with a plot. His eyes flickered, guilt. Or calculation. Vanessa hovered nearby, pretending to check her phone. The orchestra swelled, strings slicing the air like scalpels. I slipped away, weaving through the crowd toward the auction tables, where relics of old money whispered secrets. A Faberge egg caught my eye, but it was the ledger replica, bound in leather. From the firm's founding, that drew me. Jack's family had clawed their way up from Ellis Island peddlers to tax-dodging titans. What else had he buried? By the time the toast rolled around, I'd nursed 3 flutes and a grudge. Elias took the podium, spotlit like a god.
Tonight,
We honor loyalty, the backbone of Harlan and Associates. Jack Harlan, step up. You've earned partner. And to seal it, he gestured to Vanessa. Welcome our new ethics counsel, Vanessa Reed. A match made in boardrooms. The room erupted in applause. Jack ascended, beaming, pulling Vanessa up beside him. Their hands intertwined, possessive.
public.
My stomach twisted, not with jealousy, but revelation. This wasn't just an affair, it was ascension.
Me?
The ugly ballast to jettison. I clapped slowest, loudest, drawing eyes. Jack's smile faltered as he scanned for me. Found me. And in that gaze, I saw it. Fear. Not of exposure, but of what I'd unearth next. The truth he dreaded wasn't the tax fraud, it was the miscarriage. He'd pushed me down those stairs that night, in a rage over a bounce check from his gambling debts. Slip, he'd called it later, but I'd seen the shove. Covered it, like always, to protect his future. Our daughter's blood on his hands, my lie on my soul. The gala blurred after that, dances dodged, conversations laced with barbs. Vanessa cornered me in the powder room, mirror reflecting her perfect teeth. He's moving on. Alina. Gracefully would suit you. Grace. I powdered my nose. Steady. That's for widows, not wives. She laughed, sharp as glass. Stay ugly in the shadows. It's where you belong. I left her smirking, but her words fueled the fire. Midnight struck, the auction peaked. I bid on a locket Victorian, engraved forgive, wanted for a steal. Jack found me on the balcony, rain sheeting the glass like tears. Enough, he hissed. You're ruining everything. Everything. I dangled the locket. Like you ruined us? The stairs.
Jack.
Lily. I know. His face crumpled, then hardened, masks flipping like a con man's deck. You can't prove shit. It was an accident. You were hysterical. Hysterical. The word that had chained me for years. I stepped closer, rain-misted air cooling my skin. Partners only.
Huh?
Or just no room for the truth. He grabbed my wrist. Go home, Alina. Before I make you. I twisted free, the locket swinging like a noose. Too late. I'm already gone. The crowd inside cheered a final sale. I walked back in, head high, but inside. The plan coalesced. Revenge, not rage. I'd unravel his empire thread by thread, starting with the buried sins. Ugly?
No.
Unbreakable. Dawn broke over the East River like a hangover, gray, unrelenting, mocking the champagne stains on my gown crumpled in the hamper. I hadn't gone home after the gala. Instead, I'd checked into the Bowery Hotel under a fake name, the kind Jack used for his flings. Anonymity tasted like freedom, sharp and illicit, with a chaser of regret. Sleep evaded me. Chased off by replays, his grip on Vanessa's waist. Elias's toast sealing my obsolescence. And the stairs, God. The stairs. I'd lied to the ER docs. To the cops. To myself. I tripped. For him. Always for him. By 8. I was in a corner booth at Jack's Coffee. Irony intentional, nursing an espresso and a burner phone. First call, my cousin Eddie in Cleveland. The ex-cop who'd gone private eye after the force chewed him up. Dig on Jack Harlan, I said. No preamble. Everything. Offshore accounts. Gambling markers. That tax shit from 19. And Vanessa Reed, her daddy's real estate empire. Cross-checks. Eddie whistled low. Ohio gravel in his voice. Lena. This smells like divorce court napalm. You sure? Sure as the grave I dug for Lily. Silence stretched. Then he grunted assent. 48 hours. Cash at me the retainer. Next, Tessa. For armor. Burner dresses. I texted. Wardrobe for war. She replied with emojis, flame.
Sword.
Crown, and an address for her atelier drop-off. Jack blew up my real phone by 10. 20 missed calls. Voicemails escalating from "we need to talk" to "you're fucking crazy. Alina, call me or else." I deleted them all. Then blocked the number. Power hummed in the severance. Like cutting a live wire and watching the sparks dance. Afternoon found me in the New York Public Library's Rose main reading room, marble halls echoing with whispers of forgotten scandals. I pored over public records. Microfiche ghosts of Harlan and Associates filings. There it was, the 19 audit Dodge. My forged sig scribbled like a death warrant. But deeper, Jack's father, Old Man Harlan, had a skeleton in the closet from the 80s, insider trading that tanked a rival firm. Whispers of a payoff to bury it. Jack had idolized the bastard. Maybe he'd inherited the blueprint. A librarian with cat-eye glasses shot me a side-eye as I snapped pics with my phone. Personal research, she asked, voice like dry leaves. Family history, I replied. The ugly parts. Back at the Bowery by dusk. Room service arrived, lobster thermidor and a bottle of Veuve. I ate alone, overlooking the Bowery's neon veins pulsing below. My phone buzzed, burner. Unknown number. Alina? It's Vanessa. We should meet. Coffee tomorrow. Trap or Olive Branch, I typed back. 11 a.m. Dean and DeLuca. Come alone. Sleep came fitful. Dreams of Lily's ultrasound flicker morphing into Jack's shove. The banister cracking under my weight. Woke sweating. The locket clutched in my fist. Forgive? Fuck that. Morning rush hour swallowed me into the Flatiron District, where Dean and DeLuca's counters gleamed like surgical steel. Vanessa arrived punctual. Camel coat over a sheath dress that screamed power lunch. No rock on her finger, yet. We ordered lattes. Claimed a window table amid the tourist shuffle. You're bolder than I thought, she started, stirring foam with unnerving calm. Last night? Ballsy. But Jack's right. You don't belong in that world anymore. His world. I corrected. Sipping slow. Built on my bones. What's your angle? Vanessa? The ring? The corner office. She leaned in, eyes like polished agate. Truth? I love him. Have since the merger last year. Your collateral. The wife who faded. Faded. Like a Polaroid left in the sun. Collateral for what? The promotion? or the secrets he whispers in the dark. Her laugh was a scalpel, precise.
Cutting.
Secrets? Honey. Jack's an open book. Boring. Even. The tax thing? Ancient history. You covered it because you had to. Stock options. The house. That lifestyle you crave.
Crave.
As if I'd begged for the gilded cage. And Lily? The accident he caused. Vanessa's spoon paused. A flicker, shock, guilt. He told me you were unstable. Postpartum delusions. Slipped on ice. Right? Tragic. But lies on lies. I slid my phone across. The ER report photo glowing. No ice mentioned. Just fall from height. Her eyes widened fractionally. This is blackmail. Alina. Dangerous. Blackmail's for amateurs. I'm just evening the scales. I pocketed the phone. What's Daddy Reed's cut in this? I hear his developments launder more than concrete. She stiffened. The cool cracking. You don't know shit. Stay out of it. Or what? You'll sick the firm on me? I stood, tossing a 20 on the table. Tell Jack I said hello. And that ugliness? It's catching. I left her there, latte cooling like her composure. Eddie texted mid-block. Preliminary, Jack's got markers at Atlantic City. 6 figures. Vanessa's pops? Embezzlement probe quashed last year. Harlan fingerprints all over. Full dossier tomorrow. Adrenaline surged. A junkie's high. Back at the hotel. Tessa's delivery waited. 5 outfits. Each a weapon. I chose the navy pantsuit for tomorrow. Tailored sharp. Heels like stilettos. War paint. Red lips. Winged liner. Miralina smirked back, not faded. Ferocious. Evening brought rain again, drumming the windows like impatient fingers. I ventured out to a dive bar in the East Village, neon luckies flickering over sticky floors. Jukebox crooning Springsteen. Ordered a whiskey neat. Nursed it while eavesdropping on Wall Street washouts nursing grudges. One grizzled vet, ex-client of Harlan's, spilled after my second round. Your boy's poison. Lady. Buried my pension in '08 crash, insider tip gone south. Said it was market forces. Fucker. I bought his next drink. Proof. He shrugged. Eyes bleary. Old emails. Trashed them years ago. But ask around the poker rooms, he's deep in hock to wise guys. Wise guys. Brooklyn mob echoes in a Brooks Brothers suit. I slipped him my burner number. If it surfaces, call. Midnight cab back. City lights streaking like accusations. Jack had texted the burner. How? Please?
Lena. Come home.
I love you.
Love.
The word curdled. I replied once. Love's not a lie you tell to climb. His response a photo. Us on our honeymoon in Napa. Young. Tangled in vineyard sheets. Caption. We were real once.
Real.
Until the shove. I deleted it. But the ache lingered. Next day dawned crisp. Autumn nipping at summer's heels. Eddie's dossier arrived via encrypted drop, USB in a plain envelope at the hotel desk. Coffee in hand, I plugged it into the room laptop. Files unfolding like a house of cards. Jack's gambling, $250,000 owed to a shell corp tied to Staten Island enforcers. Vanessa's dad, $5 million skimmed from condo flips. Harlan lawyered the cover-up. And the kicker, the 19 tax fraud? Not small potatoes. It masked a Ponzi scheme siphoning client IRAs. $20 million vanished. My forgery? The linchpin that kept the SEC at bay. But the gut punch, Lily's autopsy. I'd never seen it. Jack handled paperwork. Bruising on my arms inconsistent with a slip. Toxicology. Trace benzodiazepines in my system, not mine, but enough to cloud judgment. He'd dosed me that night. Argued about his debts.
Then. Pushed.
Tears came hot. Unbidden. Not for him, for her. The daughter I'd shielded with silence. I forwarded chunks to a contact at the Times, anonymous tip line. No traces. Then, a Hail Mary, called Elias Harrington's assistant, posed as a headhunter. Interest in Jack Harlan's. Indiscretions? She demurred, but I heard the hook set. Seeds planted. That afternoon, I crashed a lunch at the Four Seasons, Harlan Partners' haunt. Spotted Jack across the garden room, laughing with Elias, Vanessa at his side like a trophy. I waited till he excused himself to the men's, then accidentally bumped Vanessa en route to the ladies. Twice in 2 days, she said, voice iced. Stalking now. Networking. I smiled, handing her a napkin with my burner scrawled. In case you tire of being the other woman. Or the beard. Her slap was whisper quick, palm stinging my cheek. Heads turned, murmurs rippled. Jack reappeared, face thunderous. Alina, Elias, ever the diplomat, intervened. Trouble in paradise. Harlan. Just high spirits, I said, dabbing my lip, no blood, but the burn satisfied. Jack's always been dramatic. He hustled me out, grip iron on my elbow. In the coat check alcove, shadows cloaking us. What the fuck are you doing? The tips to the press? The calls? Truth serum. Darling. You made me ugly. Now watch me shine. I yanked free.
Tick-tock.
Your empire's built on sand. His eyes, desperate. Then dark. You think you're the victim? I did it all for us. The firm. The life. You'd be nothing without me. Nothing. Laughter bubbled. Hysterical edge. I was a straight-A student. Jack. Dreams before you drown them. He softened, hand cupping my face, tender trap. We can fix this. Divorce quiet. Settlement fat. Start over. Temptation whispered. Fat settlement. Hampton's cottage. Freedom from his shadow. But Lily's ghost snarled no. Too late for fixes. Like stairs. I walked out into the midday sun, his pleas fading. Unraveling him would be exquisite, slow.
Public.
But as taxis honked and suits streamed by, doubt crept. Was I saving myself? Or becoming him? Evening, Eddie called. More dirt. Vanessa's not clean, embezzled from her sorority fund in college. Jack covered it. Got her the internship. Twist one. My rival. Cut from the same rotten cloth. I hung up.
Poured wine.
The game deepened. Mirrors multiplying. Ugly no more, but was I beautiful? Or just broken? The third week of my exile blurred into a fever dream of stakeouts and spite. Manhattan's grid my battlefield. I'd sublet a walk-up in Chelsea, tiny, with a fire escape view of the High Line's rusted rails. Rent paid in cash from our joint savings I'd drained before blocking the cards. No more brownstone ghosts, just me. Alina Harlan, née Kowalski. Plodding in pajamas stained with takeout pad thai. Eddie's full report landed like a grenade. Timelines. Wire transfers. Witness statements from croupiers who'd seen Jack lose his shirt at Borgata. Vanessa's college skim? $50,000. Funneled through a fake charity. Jack's first cover-up.
Before me.
And the Ponzi? Clients ruined. Suicides hinted at in redacted obits. One name leaped. Miriam Voss. Widow who jumped from her co-op balcony after Harlan advised her investments. Her son, a tech bro in Brooklyn, had sued and lost. Jack's doing. I met him at a brew pub in Williamsburg, tattooed arms, eyes hollow as the Williamsburg Bridge at midnight. You look like her, he said over IPAs, sliding a flash drive across the scarred table. Mom's journals. Harlan gaslit her till she broke. The drive held scans, frantic notes on forged docs. Jack's signature looped like a noose. He promised security, Miriam wrote. Took her soul instead. I pocketed it. Throat tight. Revenge, he shrugged.
Bitter.
Justice. But it won't bring her back. Nor Lily. But it would scar Jack. I leaked Voss's story to a podcaster, true crime darling with 1 million downloads. Anonymous source, I whispered into the recorder. Follow the money. By Friday, it aired. Wall Street Widow, the Harlan Shadow. Twitter, X, whatever, lit up. Harlan hustle trending in finance circles. Jack called the burner. Voice slurred, booze or rage. You bitch. The firm's in damage control. Elias is pissed. Good, I replied, filing my nails poolside at a midtown spa day funded by his Amex ghost. Pissed is progress. He laughed. Unhinged. You think this ends me? I own you. Alina. That forgery? Mutual. Accomplice. Bluff or blade. My pulse spiked. Prove it. Silence. Then click. Face turn 1. He wasn't crumbling. He was countering. I hung up. Adrenaline souring the cucumber water. That night, Tessa dragged me to a drag brunch in Hell's Kitchen, glitter bombs and gospel choirs. Queens slaying lip syncs to Gaga. Armor up. Bitch, she toasted, passing a mimosa. Amid the sequins, I confessed the accomplice threat. She rolled her eyes. Feather boa shedding. Gaslighting 101. You're no crook, he is. Lawyer up, pro bono if needed. There's this fierce dyke in Tribeca. Devours rich pricks. I noted the name. Riley Kane. Civil rights firebrand who toppled a Cuomo aide last cycle. Called her Sunday morn. Post-church bells tolling from St.
Pat's.
Hypothetical, I started. Wife covers hubby's fraud to protect family. He turns it on her post-betrayal. Riley's voice. Brooklyn bite. No bullshit. Hypothetical my ass. Meet tomorrow. Bring docs. Monday's consult was in a loft office overlooking the Hudson, plants choking bookshelves. Coffee strong as her handshake. I spilled. Tax fraud. Miscarriage cover. Ponzi whispers. Omitted the poisoning urge. The fantasies of his ruin. She flipped pages. Whistling. He's got you pinned. But we flip it duress. Emotional abuse. Battery on the fall. DA might bite if we push.
Push.
The word thrilled and terrified. And the affair? Promotion play? She smirked. Leverage. Expose the firm's rot. He sinks with it. But Alina, revenge courts chaos. You ready for fallout? Fallout. Tabloid splash. Family disownment, mine already distant. His cutthroat. Lily's name dragged public. But Jack's face at the gala, fear, fueled me. Ready. We filed motions that week. Asset freeze on joint accounts. Restraining order citing escalating threats. Jack's response? Flowers to Riley's office, roses. Thorns intact. Note, Alina's unstable. Let's settle privately. Riley framed it on her wall. Trophy. Face turned to Vanessa. She texted the burner midweek. Truce?
Coffee.
Real talk. Met at a hole in the wall in NoHo, espresso bitter as betrayal. No camel coat, jeans. Hair mussed. Eyes red-rimmed. Jack's spiraling, she said, twisting a napkin. The podcast? Clients pulling out. Elias sidelined him. Schadenfreude warmed me. Karma's a redhead. She flinched. Not funny.
I
knew about the Ponzi. Not details.
But.
He said it was victimless. Creative accounting. Victimless. Like Lily's slip. And the cover-up? Your daddy's mess. Her nod was reluctant. Jack handled it. For us. But Alina, he talks about you. Regrets the accident. Says you provoked him that night.
Provoked.
The word ignited. I stood. Chair scraping. Tell him provocation's mutual. Next time. It's not coffee I poison. Her gasp followed me out. Was it truth or tactic? Vanessa? Schemer or scapegoat? By week's end, the Times tip flowered, front-page tease on Harlan and Associates. Ethics under fire. Protests outside the firm's Park Avenue tower, Voss's son leading chants. Pickets waving Miriam's photo. I watched from a Starbucks across the street. Incognito in a ball cap. Heart pounding like a war drum. Jack cornered me there. How? Bursting from a black SUV. Trench coat flapping like bat wings. You win, he panted. Rain slicked. I'll confess. The gambling. The fraud. Joint custody on the sins.
Just.
Stop. Custody. As if crimes were kids to co-parent. His eyes pleaded real? Or rehearsal for the stand? Why now? Because I love, he caught himself. Because you're destroying us both.
Us.
Still possessive. I stepped closer. Voice steel. There is no us. Jack. Just you. Falling. He grabbed my arm, restraining order violation. Riley would crow. The miscarriage. I didn't mean. Pills were for your anxiety. You mixed them with wine. Liar. I wrenched free. Dialing 911 on the burner as sirens wailed distant. Cops arrived fast. He released me. Hands up like surrender. It's a misunderstanding. Officer. My wife. They separated us, him cuffed for questioning. Me giving a statement crisp as autumn leaves. He shoved me. Again. Headlines by dawn. Harlan Air handcuffed. Domestic drama rocks law elite. X exploded. Justice for Alina versus. Framed by the wife. Camps forming like battle lines. Feminists hailed me. Bros cried setup. Controversy crackled. Divisive as a Rorschach blot. Riley called ecstatic. DA's interested. Manslaughter angle on the baby. Statutes gray. But pushable.
Push.
But as I scrolled the feeds, trolls calling me crazed ex, supporters dubbing me Avenger Queen, doubt nod. Was I hero or harpy? Face turn 3. Mine. In the mirror that night, cheeks still faintly bruised from Vanessa's slap, I saw Jack. Scheming. Flipping scripts. Ugly inside out. Tessa's text buzzed. Club tonight? Shake it off. Queen. I went, Studio 54 reborn in meatpacking. Bass thumping like unresolved rage. Danced till sweat slick. A stranger's hands on my waist blurring boundaries. Almost kissed him, tall, anonymous, then bolted to the ladies. Splashing water on my face. Not yet, I whispered to the tile. Revenge first, ruin later. Morning brought Elias's call, landline trace be damned. Alina. We need to talk. Firm survival on the line. I met him at his club, oak-paneled. Cigar haze. The scent of old boys' deals. He poured scotch. No ice. Jack's a fool. But talented. Drop the charges. I'll make it right. Trust fund for you. Quiet exit.
Bribe. Classic.
And the victims? Miriam? My daughter. His sigh was paternal poison. Collateral. Business. I toasted. To business. Drained it. Then, leaked the Insider 80s file. Full exposure. Or I walk with more. Face turn 4, Elias. Ally? His nod was grudging. Your Harlan Steele.
Deal.
Seeds sprouted wild now, leaks. Lawsuits. Jack's face on CNN. Haggard in a holding cell. Vanessa vanished, rumor, fled to Daddy's vineyard estate. But her parting gift, an email to my burner. Attachment heavy. For what it's worth. End this. Opened it. Audio file. Jack's voice. Slurred post-gala. Vanessa. If she pushes. The pills were mine. But she drank.
Provoked.
Our secret.
Our.
Including her. Twist. Vanessa. Witness or webweaver. I forwarded to Riley. The game flipped again, no clear villains. Just mirrors of gray. Tension coiled. Climax looming. Ugly truth. We were all stained. November's chill clawed through Chelsea's cracks. Frost etching my window like accusations frozen in time. The headlines had metastasized, Harlan and Associates hemorrhaging clients faster than a Wall Street sell-off. Jack out on bail but grounded. Ankle monitor blinking like a guilty heartbeat. Protests swelled outside the courthouse. A circus of signs, lock up the lawyers, clashing with innocent until proven. Megaphones blared, dividing the sidewalk into ideological trenches. I watched from a rented Prius idling curbside, incognito in a parka and shades. The divide mirroring my soul schism. Riley's strategy crystallized over takeout low main in her loft. We go for blood, manslaughter on Lily. Conspiracy on the Ponzi. Your testimony's the hammer. But her eyes held caution. Lawyers' poker masking worry. DA screenlighting. But jury pools? Polarized. You're the scorned wife or the schemer. Scorned or schemer. The labels stuck like burrs. X threads dissecting my gala gown. Desperate much? My mugshot free arrest. Privileged pass. Feminists rallied Alina Strong fundraisers. GoFundMe hitting 50K overnight, while MAGA corners decried me as deep state divorcee. Controversy wasn't just ink, it was oxygen. Fueling the fire but scorching bystanders. Tessa curated my feeds. Ignore the noise.
Babe.
You're the storm.
Storm. Fitting.
I prepped testimony in stolen hours, rehearsing the shove. The pills. The forgery's duress, in coffee shops where baristas shot sympathetic glances. Eddie unearthed more. Jack's mob ties ran to a Cape regime in Bay Ridge. Debts settled via firm favors. Vanessa? Her email audio was gold, admission laced with ambiguity. Riley subpoenaed her. She lawyered up. Daddy's millions buying silence. Face turn 5. Jack's plea. He cornered me post-hearing, outside the federal building on Foley Square. Paparazzi swarming like flies on roadkill. Bail conditions be damned. He slipped his detail. Face gaunt under the winter sun. Alina. Off record. Cops hovered distant, I nodded. Heart a jackhammer. We ducked into a Duane Reade. Fluorescent hum underscoring his whisper. I did it.
The push.
The schemes. All to keep you, us, in the life. But Lily. God. I see her in dreams. Tiny hands. Tears tracked his cheeks, real saline. Or actor's craft. My throat closed. Then confess.
Public.
Free the ghosts. He gripped the candy aisle shelf. Knuckles white. And you? Testify. And your accomplice. We both fry. Mutual destruction. The ultimate flip. Better than silence. Better than your love. His laugh cracked. Love, you were my anchor, Lena. Until you weren't. The weight, the debts. The firm, I snapped. Anchor. Drowned by his storm. Snap all you want. I'm surfacing. I left him there. Amid Twizzlers and Tums. Sirens wailing as his monitor tripped an alert. Back in the Prius. Sobs came, raw.
Ugly.
Not for him. But the boy I'd loved at Columbia. Before the suits swallowed him. Was redemption possible? Or just another mask? The climax brewed in a marathon hearing, family court bleeding into federal. Judge Harlan, no relation. Irony noted, presiding with hawk eyes. Gallery packed, Elias stone-faced, Tessa gripping my hand, Voss's son nodding solidarity. Vanessa took the stand first, poise fractured under cross. MS. Read. Riley purred. You emailed MS. Harlan an audio of Mr. Harlan admitting dosing her.
Why?
Vanessa's gaze flicked to Jack. Love? Loathing? Leverage.
He used me.
The promotion was bait. But the secrets? Poison. Objection overruled. The recording played. Our secret. Gasps rippled. Jack's head bowed. Face turn 6. Vanessa. Betrayer betrayed. Jurors shifted. Sympathy tilting? Jack's turn. He invoked the 5th on fraud. But on Lily?
Cracked. I
administered meds without consent. Argument escalated. I pushed. Regret consumes me. Sobs from the gallery. Mine?
No.
I auntie of Miriam's. But it echoed. DA pressed. Intent.
None.
Panic. His eyes found me. Plea or performance. My testimony sealed it, voice steady. Recounting the stairs blur. The blood. The cover-up's chains. I protected him. Took the ugly. For love. Flashbulbs popped. Ex-Liv tweeted. Wife's bombshell. Abuse at the top. But the flip. Cross-exam. Jack's counsel. A silver fox from Kravith. MS. Harlan. You forged documents. Conspired in the Ponzi. Benefited from the lifestyle, private schools, vacations. Complicit. Objections flew. But the seed planted. Jurors' eyes hardened. Accomplice. Not victim? The room tilted. Tension thick as fog off the East River. No clear right. Wrongs layered like onion skin. Peeling to reveal. More wrongs. Recess brought chaos. Reporters mobbed. Tessa shielding me to a back exit. Elias waited in the alley. Cigar smoldering. Bold play.
But the judge?
Old school. Might cut a deal.
Deal.
I spat rain from my lips. Jack pleads to fraud. You walk on forgery. Manslaughter? Misdemeanor. Firm survives, rebranded. Bribe redux. Firm first. And justice. He shrugged. Justice is for suckers. Power endures. Temptation nod. Walk free. New start. Lily's justice? A footnote. I demurred. Counter. Full confession. Restitution to victims. Or I burn it all. His nod was reluctant respect. You're Harlan after all. Night fell heavy. City lights mocking for my walk-up. Drunk dialed Eddie. Am I the villain? His laugh rumbled.
Nah.
Just human. Flawed as fuck.
Flawed.
The word comforted. Curdled. Slept with a locket under my pillow. Forgive?
Still no.
Arraignment Eve. Twist 7. Vanessa's lawyer approached Riley. Back channel offer. She'll testify full. Jack masterminded her dad's cover-up. In exchange, immunity for her college skim. Deal or double cross. Riley advised caution. She's playing angles. But it guts him. I greenlit. Court resumed. Vanessa recanted. Spilling, embezzlement. Jack's fixes. Even aside, hustle laundering mob cash through real estate. Gasps. Judge banged gavel. Jack's face. Betrayal's blade.
Deep.
Objection.
Coerced.
His counsel roared. Sustained, partial. But damage done. Jury deliberated 2 days. Tension of ice. Polls swinging. 52% lock him up. 48% she's as guilty. Verdict. Fraud guilty. 20 years. Restitution ordered. Manslaughter. Hung. Retrial pending. Forgery. Deferred. Community service for me. Split decision. Literally, jurors split 7-5 on me. Reasonable duress. Outside. Flash storm. Cheers.
Cheers.
Voss hugged me. For mom. But a heckler screamed. Murderer enabler. No heroes. Jack. Led away in cuffs. Locked eyes. I did it for you. Lies to the end. Or truth's cruel twist. Riley popped champagne in her loft. Bittersweet bubbles.
When?
Mostly. The word haunted. Elias called. Rebrand sticks.
But you?
Blacklisted. Expected. But Power's echo lingered. Mine. Hard one. Face turn final. Mine again. In the mirror. Scars etched, not ugly, but altered. Revenge tasted ash. Justice. Hollow. But free?
God.
Yes. Winter gripped New York like a grudge. Snow blanketing the high line in false purity, muffling the city's perpetual snarl. Retrial loomed. Manslaughter hung, jury forcing a rerun. DA hungry for closure, but the air hummed with finality's edge. Jack rotted in Rikers. Appeals grinding slow as January ice. Harlan and Associates rebranded to Vanguard Legal. Elias at the helm. Purging his son's stain with press releases polished as marble.
Me?
Alina Kowalski again. Divorce finalized in a 10-minute Bowery clerk's office. Settlement stripped to bones after restitution claims. Community service. Tutoring at a Bronx women's shelter. Teaching financial literacy for survivors. Irony laced every lesson. Like the cheap coffee we brewed. X had moved on. Harlan hustle faded to footnote. My name a punchline in late-night monologues. From ugly duckling to courtroom swan. Quack if you're guilty. Donations dried. Tessa's brunches turned pity party. Even Riley distanced. Great case. Alina. Next client's a celeb assault. Keeps the lights on. Isolation crept. Colder than the slush puddles I dodged en route to the shelter. Dreams replayed the stairs, Lily's phantom kick. Jack's sorry echoing hollow. Ugly truth. Revenge hadn't healed, it hollowed. But in the shelter's fluorescent buzz, women's stories mirrored mine, abusers masked as lovers. Silences bought with shame. You spoke, one said, grizzled survivor named Rosa. That's power.
Power. Frayed. But mine.
Eddie visited once, bearing pierogies from home. Ohio girl's still in there. Don't let the wolves win. Wolves. Plural. Vanessa resurfaced in spring thaw, emailed to my new Gmail. Subject. Unfinished. Met at a park bench in Prospect. Cherry blossoms mocking with pink fragility. She looked diminished. No sheath. Just sundress and shadows under eyes. Daddy's empire? Crumbling under SEC probes. Her immunity, a paper shield. I flipped for nothing, she said. Feeding ducks stale bread. Jack's done. Firm's a joke. And you? Hero or pariah? Both, I admitted. Wind whipping my scarf. You? She tossed the last crust. Complicit. He groomed me, internship hook. Then the rest. But I chose.
Chose.
The word we'd all whisper in therapy. The audio? Why send it? Her shrug. Hated him by then. Loved the game more. Face turn 8. Vanessa. Villain to victim. Or just another player folding. We parted uneasy allies, her tip on a final ledger. Jack's retirement fund in Cayman. I forwarded to the DA, another nail. Retrial hit May. Courthouse blooming with TV trucks. A summer heat pressing like judgment. Jury, diverse. Wary, 2 finance bros. 3 moms. Rest wild cards. Prosecution opened fierce. Harlan's shove ended a life. No accident, premeditated poison. Defense countered. Tragic mishap, amplified by a vengeful ex.
Tennis.
Harlan's fraud proves motive to fabricate. Motive. The accusation stung. Jurors' glances like pins. My second testimony. Raw. Unscripted. I lied for love. Covered for fear. But Lily? She deserved truth. Voice cracked. A juror teared. Mom? Win or warning? Twists piled. Mob witness flipped. Testifying Jack's debts fueled the Ponzi. He owed us. Paid in client blood. Elias took the stand, crumbling under Riley's cross. Family loyalty? Or firm first? Both, he admitted. Voice gravel. Jack's my blood.
Blood.
The tie that bound and blinded. Vanessa's remote depot, he dosed her. Knew the risks. Jury leaned, 8-4 conviction buzz. Per whispers. But the bomb, Jack's elocution, piped in from prison. Alina. I pushed. Meant to scare. Not harm. Pills were control. Keep her steady while I fixed us.
Pause. Sob choked.
Forgive?
No.
But understand. I was drowning too. Understand. Jury did. Hung again. 6-6. Judge declared mistrial. DA vowing appeal. Outside. Chaos. Supporters hugging. Detractors jeering. Hung jury. Hung wife. Ex reignited. Debates raging. Was it murder or madness? Polls splitting 50-50. No closure. Perpetual tension. A national Rorschach. I walked away numb. Highline rails humming underfoot. Free, but fractured. Elias approached post-verdict, sidewalk confab. No cigar. Drop the appeals. I'll fund your fresh start. Therapy. Travel. Whatever. Bribe eternal. Why? Your family. Flawed. His hand extended peace. I shook. Flawed family's over. But thanks. Summer solstice. I scattered Lily's ashes, not in the brownstone garden, but Central Park's conservatory, under the oaks of our vows. Wind carried her east, toward freedom. Grow wild, baby. Twist finale. Jack's letter. Smuggled via guard. Alina, truth I feared, not the crimes.
You.
Stronger without me. If retrial sticks. No, I'd do it different.
Love.
Always.
Love.
The dirtiest word. I burned it. Ashes mingling with hers. A happy ending? No, by kitsch laced with hope. I'd rebuilt. Shelter job permit. Book deal brewing, ugly truths, a wife's reckoning. Tessa plotting a road trip to Ohio roots. But debates lingered in me, in the world. Was I avenger or enabler? Victim or villain? Jack monster or man broken? Vanessa pawn or predator? No absolutes, just grays. Sparking endless what-ifs over bar stools and dinner tables. Ugly to come?
No.
I'd gone alone. Uncovered the rot. And, in the uncovering, found myself scarred, but standing. In America's relentless churn, that's victory enough. Or damnation. You decide.